DevOps, Continuous Deployment and Cycle Analytics, TD and CA. Define environments. In this video, we are going to take a look at what is continuous deployment, how to define environments, how to use environments in pipelines. What is continuous deployment? It is a practice to deploy the code in production automatically after passing automated tests. Although the idea is very simple, it has a lot of advantages over manual deployment process. I would like to highlight some of them. First, manual and repetitive tasks are automated. Teams can focus on other activities and don't depend on specific people. Also, deployments become more frequently. Whenever a new feature is tested and considered ready, it is deployed automatically. With continuous deployment, companies can respond to market changes in a faster way, since there is no need to wait another release date to release a bunch of new features. Since the features are deployed as soon as possible, the team collects faster feedbacks about them. Another advantage is that deployments are less stressful and less risky. When the process is automated, there are no missing steps. Also, smaller changes imply less risk. Preventive and reactive actions can be implemented to revert the changes automatically if errors are detected. To implement continuous deployment, many different tools may be integrated in the workflow, such as testing, quality, and monitoring tools. This means that different teams, as development, operation, and security teams, may work together in an unified process, which promotes better quality and productivity. Now that we have saw the advantages of continuous deployment, we must understand what is a deployment environment and how we can define and use them in GitLab. So it is a very wise idea to have at least two different environments, development and production. The first is used to develop and test features. The second is used to make features available to final users. But many teams can have a testing environment to run tests against a controlled data, and even a quality assurance QA or staging environment, which normally is similar to the production environment and can be used by intended users as quality analysts or even a small group of final users. In GitLab, we can define one or more environments. These environments are used to control deployments and to perform monitoring tasks. Let's see how we can define environments in GitLab. To define new environments, let's click in Operations and then Environments. We don't have any environments right now, but let's create a new environment clicking here. Let's call it Production. Now we must enter an external URL. I have defined a DNS in no IP, so I'm going to put it right here. You must do the same. The development has been created. But as we can see here, we don't have any deployments right now. Let's get back to that file to see how we can use the environment there. In this file, the environment must be associated with a job. Of course, we are going to associate the environment with the deploy job, since we are simulating that we are doing a deploy of our application in the production environment. So we must use the environment with the name of the environment defined, in our case production. Optionally, we could inform the URL in this file, but as we have already defined the production environment, we don't need to use the URL here. I'm going to push this code to GitLab so we can see what happens now. As we can see here, the pipeline is running. After it ends, we are going to see that we have made an artificial deploy. Let's get back to our production environment in GitLab. Now that the pipeline has been executed, I'm going to refresh the page. After the refresh, we can see that the application has been deployed in production environment. Of course, we didn't do a real deploy, but we can see that we have many useful information, like the commit that is deployed in production, when it was updated, the name of the job, and who did the deployment. This first button opens the URL of the environment for us. I'm not going to click on it because we didn't do a real deploy. The second button is to redeploy the application on the selected environment. The third button is to stop the environment, so it would be considered stopped by GitLab. It only means that GitLab will consider this environment as stopped. This screen shows the deployment only in the production environment.